Tu Tien, a journey of reunion and love through trials. An emotional reunion. Tu Tien stood silently in front of the village gate, her hands clasped tightly, her heart racing with anticipation. The late afternoon breeze gently blew through her long, black hair, carrying the faint scent of ripe rice fields. Suddenly, her gaze locked onto a thin, weary figure approaching from a distance, supported step by the village chief. It was her father, the man she thought she had lost forever. Her father's voice, hoarse and trembling, broke the silence. "Is that you, Tu Tien?" That single sentence shattered the dam, holding back her tears. She rushed forward, embracing him tightly, sobbing like a child. "Father, it's me. I'm Tu Tien." The warmth of his frail arms around her made her heart overflow with a mixture of joy and sorrow. The village chief, standing nearby with tears in his eyes, softly said, "Tu Tien, we were fortunate to find him in a remote mountainous area. He had been lost for many years before finding his way back." Tu Tien clutched her father's hand, tears streaming down her face. After years of separation, the part of her heart that had felt empty was finally whole again. Joy spreads far and wide. The news of her father's return quickly reached Jack, Tu Tien's fiancé, who was abroad on business. Unable to contain her happiness, Tu Tien immediately called him. As soon as the phone rang, Jack's deep, warm voice answered. "Tu Tien, what's the matter?" Choking back tears, she stammered, "My father, he's back, Jack." There was a brief silence on the other end, followed by Jack's joyous laughter. "Really? I told you, Tu Tien. I promised that when we found your father, we would get married." Tu Tien laughed through her tears, her heart bursting with endless joy. Not only was Jack overjoyed, but his mother, Mrs. Lin, was equally moved upon hearing the news. Tu Tien hurried to her house, exclaiming, "Mother, my father has returned." Mrs. Lin grasped her hand tightly, her eyes brimming with tears. "That's wonderful, Tu Tien. The day has finally come." She gently stroked Tu Tien's hair, her voice full of warmth. "You must be a dutiful daughter and take good care of him. This is the most precious gift life has given you." Tu Tien nodded, tears rolling down her cheeks, her heart filled with gratitude. The joy didn't stop within their small family. It spread throughout the village. Neighbors and relatives came to congratulate them, their faces beaming with happiness. They shared old stories about her father, Mr. Tuan, who had once been a strong and devoted family man before he went missing on a distant trip. His return felt like a miracle, igniting hope in the entire community. Jack's return, a promise fulfilled. A few days later, a luxurious car quietly pulled up in front of Tu Tien's house. Jack stepped out, tall and composed, though his eyes betrayed his excitement. As soon as she saw him, Tu Tien couldn't hold back and ran into his arms. Jack smiled, holding her tightly. "I'm home, Tu Tien." His warmth made her feel safe, as if all the troubles in the world had melted away. Jack turned to the man standing beside Tu Tien, her father. He approached and bowed deeply, his voice steady. "Hello, sir. I'm Jack." Mr. Tuan looked at him, his eyes reflecting a mix of surprise and emotion. "So you're the one who has been by my daughter's side all these years?" Jack nodded, his gaze sincere. "Yes, and I will continue to protect her for the rest of my life." Hearing this, Mr. Tuan nodded slightly, his eyes welling up. "Then I can entrust Tu Tien to you." Jack took Tu Tien's hand, his eyes tender. "Now, nothing stands in our way. Let's get married, shall we?" Tu Tien blushed, but her radiant smile and sparkling eyes were answer enough. A new chapter in their lives had officially begun, filled with bright hopes. A dream wedding, a symbol of love. News of Jack and Tu Tien's wedding spread quickly throughout the village. From Mrs. Lin to the villagers, everyone was overjoyed. Mr. Tuan, after years of separation, was now able to witness his daughter's happiness, and he couldn't hide the tears of pride and emotion. Jack spared no expense in preparing for the big day. He wanted to give Tu Tien a perfect wedding, a beautiful memory that would stay with them forever. He personally chose the venue, a picturesque seaside resort where the waves whispered against the shore. Tu Tien's wedding dress was custom-made, exquisite and dazzling, like something out of a fairy tale she had dreamed of as a child. In the days leading up to the wedding, the household buzzed with excitement. Mrs. Lin constantly reminded Tu Tien, "You must look your best on your wedding day. Jack has prepared everything for you." Tu Tien smiled, her eyes shining. "Yes, mother. But to me, the most important thing is being with him." Mr. Tuan also held his daughter's hand, his voice trembling. "I'm so happy you found someone who truly loves you." Tu Tien hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face, her heart overflowing with gratitude. The big day, vows under the sunset. The wedding day finally arrived. The ceremony was held on the beach at sunset, with the sky painted in brilliant shades of orange, blending with the silver waves. The guests were their closest friends, Jack's business partners, and the villagers. When Tu Tien appeared in her pure white wedding dress, all eyes were on her. She looked like a princess from a fairy tale, her long hair flowing in the wind, her smile lighting up the entire scene. Jack waited at the end of the aisle, his eyes fixed on Tu Tien. As Mr. Tuan handed his daughter to him, he whispered, "I'm entrusting her to you. Take good care of her." Jack clasped Tu Tien's hand, looking into her eyes with determination. "I promise, sir." In that moment, Tu Tien knew she had chosen the right person. In front of everyone, they exchanged vows. From this day forward, through hardships and happiness, in wealth or poverty, I will always love and cherish you. Tu Tien, choking back tears, said, "I feel the same. In this life, I only need you." When the priest declared, "You may kiss the bride," Jack smiled gently and leaned down to kiss her softly. Applause erupted, and fireworks lit up the night sky. Tu Tien felt her heart pounding. This wasn't just a wedding. It was the beginning of a lifelong journey where she and Jack would be together forever. Married life and joyful news. After their romantic beach wedding, Jack and Tu Tien entered married life with complete happiness. They enjoyed a wonderful honeymoon in Europe, visiting romantic cities like Paris with its dazzling Eiffel Tower, Venice with its poetic canals, and Santorini with its whitewashed houses perched on cliffs. Jack always gave Tu Tien the best, from candlelit dinners to endless strolls. He was not only a loving husband, but also her steadfast protector in every situation. After the honeymoon, they returned to start their everyday life. Jack continued to run his finance company, while Tu Tien assisted him with some tasks and focused on taking care of their home. But life wasn't always smooth. One morning, while Jack was busy at the office, Tu Tien suddenly felt dizzy and nauseous. At first, she thought it was due to overwork, but when the symptoms persisted, Mrs. Lin grew suspicious and urged her to see a doctor. At the hospital, the doctor smiled and said, "Congratulations, you're over a month pregnant." Tu Tien was stunned, tears of joy welling up. "Really?" The doctor nodded. "Yes, the baby is perfectly healthy. You should rest and take good care of yourself." Tu Tien immediately called Jack. "Honey, I have great news." Jack, who had just signed an important contract, smiled at her cheerful voice. "What is it, my love?" Tu Tien laughed. "You're going to be a father." Jack was speechless for a moment, then shouted with joy. "Really? You're pregnant?" He canceled all his remaining appointments and rushed home. As soon as he stepped inside, he hugged Tu Tien tightly. "Thank you. Thank you for giving me a complete family." Tu Tien nestled into his arms, her heart overflowing with happiness. A threat from the enemy, John. But their joy was short-lived. One day, Jack's company suddenly faced a financial crisis. A shadowy force had secretly bought shares and manipulated the market, causing the company's value to plummet. Jack threw himself into resolving the issue, working day and night. Tu Tien grew worried as she saw her husband becoming increasingly stressed, his eyes dark from lack of sleep. "Jack, don't overwork yourself." "I'm worried," she said softly. Jack hugged her, his voice gentle but firm. "I won't let anyone take away what we've built. Don't worry, I promise to protect you and our child." Behind it all was John, Jack's old enemy. John didn't just want to destroy Jack's business. He wanted to make him lose everything. More ruthless than ever, John even planned to threaten Tu Tien to force Jack into submission. One afternoon, as Tu Tien was strolling in the garden behind their house, caressing her growing belly and smiling at the thought of their unborn child, a dark figure suddenly appeared. Before she could react, a rough hand covered her mouth. "Madam, come with us," a cold voice said. Tu Tien struggled, but being pregnant, she didn't dare fight back too hard. "Who are you? What do you want?" she asked, trying to stay calm. The man tightened his grip. "If Jack hands over the company to our boss, you and the baby will be safe." Tu Tien immediately understood this was John's doing. She gritted her teeth. "You won't make him submit." The thug was about to drag her away when a powerful voice rang out. "Let her go." Jack appeared at the garden gate, his eyes sharp with anger, flanked by a group of bodyguards. The thug tightened his hold on Tu Tien. "Step back, or else." Bang! A gunshot into the ground startled him. Jack's bodyguards quickly subdued the intruders. In an instant, Tu Tien was rescued. Jack rushed to her, holding her tightly. "Are you okay?" His voice trembled with concern. Tu Tien smiled weakly. "I'm fine, the baby is fine." Jack gripped her hand, his eyes blazing with fury. "John, this time I won't let you get away." Determination to protect the family. After the incident, Jack not only focused on restoring his company, but also strengthened security for his family. He knew John wouldn't stop, but Jack wasn't one to back down. With support from his partners and employees, he gradually regained the company's stability. At the same time, he worked with authorities to track down John and bring him to justice. Tu Tien, though worried, stood by her husband's side, offering unwavering support. Every evening, she prepared warm meals, held him close, and whispered, "No matter what happens, the baby and I will always be with you." Jack smiled, kissing her forehead. "With you and our child, I fear nothing." The journey of Tu Tien and Jack is a story of love, resilience, and the strength of family. Despite the challenges they faced, they held each other's hands tightly, overcoming every storm together. And soon, when their child is born, their little family will be even more complete.